We are here to announce that there has been a military coup at the Stephen Green Property Investment Academy. We are in command now. Stephen John Green, of sound mind and his own volition, signed the company over to us. Henceforth, we are ceasing control. When starting in property, you may hear terms being thrown around by more experienced investors, and this can make conversations hard and difficult to follow. The property landscape can seem non-intuitive and unfamiliar, so here are 50 terms you need to understand to get started investing in property. Property, it's just a building. Property portfolio, a catalogue of properties owned by somebody. Contract, an agreement between two parties that's enforceable by law. A party, a formal term for a person or a group. Buy-to-let, a property that you rent out to a single party. HMO, house of multiple occupancy, a property you let out to multiple unrelated parties. Serviced accommodation, a property that you rent out on a short-term basis, like a holiday home from Airbnb. Lease, a contract where one party provides a property to another in return for regular payments over a period of time. Freehold, this is a type of ownership. It means that you own the property outright. It's yours and yours alone, including the land underneath it. Leasehold. You own the property for an agreed period of time, for example 125 years, after which time passes, it goes back to the freehold owner. Lease option agreement. You take control of someone else's property for the remainder of their mortgage term, at the end of which you have the option to buy at a discounted price. Flip. Buying a property and increasing the value by a conversion or a refurb, and then reselling the property at a higher price. That's it, for a profit. For a profit. Tenant, someone who rents your property. Commercial to residential. You convert a former commercial property to a residential property. For example, Stephen's pub conversion into the apartments. Commercial leases, a contract between a business tenant and their landlord. Rent to rent. You rent a property from an owner and then you rent it out to somebody else at a higher price. Rent to council. You can enter into a contract with your local council for your rental property to be used for social housing. Now, this is an appealing option for many investors because you can receive guaranteed rent for up to 5 years, and at the end of which your property will be returned to you in the exact same condition. Deal sourcing. Going out and finding property deals and then selling that information to investors. Direct to vendor. This is you buying a property directly from an individual without going through any estate agents. The property might not even be listed on an estate agent website. Equity. The value of your house minus what you owe on it. Negative equity. The house is valued less than what you paid for it. Estate agents. Somebody who sells a house or fills a rental property for somebody else. Look at the one I have to do. Service charge. This is a fee that a leaseholder has to pay to the freeholder for the services the freeholder has to provide. This might be, for example, maintenance towards a building that a leased apartment is in. Ground rent. Charge against leaseholds. It's rent for the ground on which the property is built on. Insurance. This is a premium you pay for compensation against risks. Stamp duty. The tax you pay when you buy a residential property. Property management company. This is a company that manages your properties for a fee, leaving you hands-free. Due diligence. Doing your checks. So guys, now that we're halfway, if you're enjoying the video, please make sure you subscribe. I've got a target of 30,000 subscribers I have to hit for my quarterly target, and the quarterly is in June, so please subscribe so I can get a pay rise. That's true, that's literally, it's true, isn't it? It's worrying, mum. A stress test. These are simulations that you run on a property deal to make sure it stays profitable. Mortgage broker. A person who arranges mortgages between lenders and borrowers. Grants. This is a sum of money given by the government or an organisation for a particular purpose. Market value. What a property is worth according to the market. Surveyor. This is someone who values your property and tells you what it's worth. EPC. An alphabetical score of how energy efficient your property is. It needs to be at least an E to be able to rent. His Majesty's Land Registry. This is a database of ownership of land and property in England and Wales. You can access it via the website. Section 24. An amendment to the UK tax law which changes the way you pay tax on rental income. You can avoid Section 24 by investing through a limited company. Yield. The earnings generated on an investment over time. Cash flow. The amount of cash moving in and out of a business at a specific time. ROI stands for return on investment. What are you getting back for what you put in? Loan. A sum of money that you've borrowed and agreed to pay back. Interest. You can't borrow money for free. Interest is how much you have to pay for borrowing the money. Mortgage. A loan you take, usually from a bank, secured with a deposit, you pay your mortgage back over 25 to 40 years. There's multiple types of mortgages and they're distinguished by how you pay them back. Repayment mortgages. Each month, you'll pay a portion of the loan plus interest on top of that. So over time, the amount that you owe slowly decreases. Interest-only mortgage. Each month you pay off the interest on your mortgage. Over time, what you owe stays the same. Appreciation. The increase in the value of a property over time. Loan to value. A bank loans a mortgage as a percentage of a property's value. A common split is 75% to 25%. A bank puts in 75% and you put in 25%. Below market value. This is where you see a property selling for below what the market values it at. Article 4 area. An area where you can't have a HMO. Bridging finance. This is a short-term loan to purchase a property. For example, when you're buying one at auction. Joint venture. Investing in a property with somebody else. So guys, I hope that covers it. Please help me hit my quarterly target of 30,000 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button if you found it useful and turn your notifications on. Also, just give this video a like if you would like to see more of me and Sam.